Welcome to the Popcorn Talk Network. For the online broadcast network that features movie discussion, news, and interviews, press 1.
Popcorn Talk. We talk movies. From the Popcorn Talk Network, the online broadcast network for movie talk, and the schmoes know, this is Meet the Movie Press. Roundtable movie news and commentary from the industry's premier film journalists.
And hello, happy Friday. It is Meet the Movie Press. We are live and I am sitting by myself. Jeff Sneider, my lovely co-host. I don't know why I just called him lovely. He's going to hate me for that. He's actually not at Comic-Con as well, but he's with family. So go ahead and tweet at the in Sneider. Tell him hi and throw some props to the guy. This is not going to be easy for me because I am by myself. But what I wanted to do is the fact that I'm here by myself. And by the way, I don't even think I mentioned I am Mark Reilly, editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com and the host here at Meet the Movie Press on the Popcorn Talk Network. There is so much news out there, guys. And we didn't want to let this kind of go without a discussion. So I thought it would be fun to actually take calls from you guys, like for the first time on the show, because why not? I'm here by myself. The forum is open. I got the studio to myself. All this news broke. I mean, we got Batman news, DC news, we got Marvel news, we got Star Wars, major Star Wars news. So I want to start there because, oh my God. I woke up this morning and Heroic Hollywood and friend of the show, Humberto Gonzalez, better known as El Mayimbe, he broke something, and we're going to talk about it first, right off the bat. Colin Trevorrow, a director of the billion-dollar Jurassic World, he's saying he's now tapped to be the director of Episode 9, Star Wars Episode 9. Now, Colt, thank you, all by myself. Sing it with me, Mark. I will. But no, I want to go first. Let's talk about this because this is called Meet the Movie Press. So it's interesting that this broke today because what I find interesting is that this is a ballsy scoop. This is a huge scoop. This is a scoop that can be debunked within 8 hours. Because last night, El Mayimbe dropped it on heroichollywood.com. Give them a like as well. Check them out on Twitter. He drops that Colin Trevorrow is doing Star Wars Episode 9. This is a huge thing for Meet the Movie Press, in my opinion, because, like I said, today at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time, the Star Wars panel is going to be happening over at Comic-Con, and they are doing a huge presentation. Now, we have heard that there's going to be no trailers. There's going to be a behind-the-scenes look. There's going to be guests. You can kind of guess who's going to show up. I think the entire cast of Star Wars will be showing up for the panel. Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. And I think what happened is that El Mayimbe stole some of the thunder of Star Wars. I think they were going to announce Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9 at the panel today. I think Mayimbe scooped them. And hell yeah, good for you, dude. Why not? I mean, it's probably spreading like wildfire right now. I have a writer on schmoesknow.com who's going to be covering this right now. But like I said, I think that this was going to be a huge announcement by Lucasfilm and Disney, and they were going to bring out Colin Trevorrow with all the bells and whistles, playing the Star Wars theme, crowds going crazy. So, yeah, this is going to be pretty amazing. So I want to get your thoughts on it, guys. So we're on the live chat at youtube.com/popcorn talk. We have a live chat going on there. I want you to drop in some comments on this. Do you like Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9? We know Rian Johnson is doing Episode 8. That broke a year ago. Disney, Lucasfilm, they're getting their ducks in order. I mean, we will get to the spinoff talk, but I want to go first to Colin Trevorrow directing Episode 9. And if you guys want to call in, we have a call-in number. It is 424-253-0504. That's 424-253-0504. Give us a call. All right? We will talk about this. I want to get your thoughts. Do you like this? I mean, it feels like Jurassic World, like, I've talked to people about this, and I feel like it's falling in two camps. One, it's ridiculous. I didn't like it. It's lazy storytelling. On the other side, which I'm on, I loved it. It was fun. It was a good popcorn movie. Remove your brain, have fun. And then people will discuss the remove the brain part, saying blockbusters need to be smart or maybe want to be smart. Look at Jurassic Park. You know, I just had a good time in the theater. I love Jurassic World. I'm cool with this news, says I Am Ninja Panda. Awesome. I agree. And that's where I stand. I think Colin Trevorrow, from what I'm reading now on all of the like forums and the Twitters and some of the news blogs that like Slash Film did a great article that I read this morning that covered this from Heroic Hollywood, is they said Colin Trevorrow was great to work with. That's what they're saying. Across the board, he was so good to work with. He listened, he took notes, he had his own vision, he stood up for himself while also being collaborative. And as the story goes, when Episode 7 was coming around, they approached Brad Bird to direct Episode 7. And he wanted to do Tomorrowland. He was kind of already in the mix with there. Say what you will about Tomorrowland, and he should have done this. What ifs around there. Hey, I love Brad Bird. I'm glad he did something that was passionate. You know, it didn't land for audiences at least, but Brad Bird stuck with it. But what Brad Bird did was he said to Kathleen Kennedy, he said, no, but you got to check out Colin Trevorrow. Go watch Safety Not Guaranteed, his little indie movie that pretty much broke him out into what we're talking about now. And so Brad Bird said Colin Trevorrow should direct Episode 7, which I found interesting. So I think that what Lucasfilm did and Disney did was very smart. They wanted to launch Star Wars Episode 7 with a established director, somebody who could take it into the direction they wanted to go, make it wonderful again for the fans. J.J. Abrams, obviously the rest is history. J.J. Abrams is doing it, and I think it is so smart what Lucasfilm and Disney are doing now. We got J.J. Abrams, okay? Then they tap Rian Johnson, director of Looper, one of the best sci-fi movies out there, to direct Episode 8. It's like, for me, it's going parallel with the original trilogy. Rian Johnson just immediately, to me, seems like a darker, edgier choice, a la Empire Strikes Back and Irving Kershner. This is brilliant. And now, full circle, it seems, because if Brad Bird said Colin Trevorrow needs to direct Episode 7, they go, no, we want to launch this, with an established director, obviously, because they went to Brad Bird, who directed The Incredibles, Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. So, of course, this guy knows his stuff. So, yeah, established director for Episode 7, launch it, get it out there, and then take in Rian Johnson, Episode 8, maybe edgier, darker, and now bringing it home for maybe the last trilogy of the Star Wars saga. Not talking about the anthology films, I'm talking about the saga, 3 trilogies. We have Colin Trevorrow. So, I mean, I'm blown away. I think it's legit too. I mean, I see people talking here, that it might be bullshit. What say you? I think it's totally legit. Again, if El Miembe drops this, he's basically got 8 hours. He's at Comic-Con right now. If they bring out anyone other than Colin Trevorrow on the stage today and say, no, actually, Episode 9 is going to be directed by, let's say, Steven Spielberg or whatever. It's not going to happen. But let's say they say so-and-so is going to direct Episode 9 and not Colin Trevorrow. El Miembe will not hear the end of it. He will be at Comic-Con and people will call him out. And that's why I think this is a ballsy scoop, and that's why I think it's legit, because he's not going to do that. And look, he's got a great freaking track record. The guy knows his stuff. And we know sometimes scoops don't pan out. But like I said, they don't pan out. You have some leeway on the internet when you drop these things way before things start filming. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. He is at Comic-Con right now, and I think he scooped Disney and Lucasfilm. And we'll see how that shakes out. So I'm seeing a lot of comments there, guys. I don't know if you want to call in. Are we getting any calls over there, Marissa? Oh, no, we're not. Hey, it's not Marissa anymore. Hi. All right, so no calls are coming in yet. So drop in some comments on the YouTube page, youtube.com/popcorn talk. And I'm going to read some of your comments here, guys. So Aaron Bloom says, Brad Bird would be great for Star Wars movie at whatever point. I totally agree with you, Aaron. I was maybe kind of hoping Brad Bird would come around and do episode 9. I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me that's a little hesitant about Colin Trevorrow. And I'm going to just say that he has got the job in directing it for argument's sake, because I trust El Miembe, I trust Heroic Hollywood, and like I said, he's at Comic-Con right now, so it's a big scoop to drop. I really like Colin Trevorrow. I think he knows his stuff. For some reason, though, being the big Star Wars geek that I am, I feel like I would have liked to maybe see Brad Bird come around and do episode 9. I don't know. There's something about thinking about like bookends of a trilogy. Like, to go in strong with the first one is just, you need that to happen. And then the middle section of the trilogy, thanks to Empire Strikes Back, has kind of set the standard for what we want to see. Maybe be it darker, be it like a cliffhanger, really give it to the characters that you know and love and see what they do. And then this is from a storytelling point of view. But like, and I'm just going to go off Empire because I think it's the gold standard of what we want to see. And that's put these characters, I will say from a writing standpoint, and I'm going to butcher, I don't even know who maybe said this, but in writing, you want to take your writers and you want to put them in a tree and throw rocks at them. And it's a funny metaphor to think about, but it's like, that's what you want to do. You want to throw obstacles. You want to throw, the stakes need to get higher. So I feel like with Rian Johnson in the middle of the trilogy, the new trilogy, directing episode 8, he's going to give us something very interesting character-wise. I think he's going to take the story into an interesting direction. And I said edgier and darker. I think it's going to go darker. I think that's what Rian Johnson is. And so getting to my point about bringing it home about the third movie in the trilogy, if it's Colin Trevorrow, look, he's proved himself with Jurassic World. I think everybody can say that and know that that's true. So what I think, though, that's the one thing that I kind of go to. Having an established director, well, not established because Colin Trevorrow is an established director, but like Brad Bird, bringing it home, a big-time director just bringing it home so that it assures the fans that we get the kind of trilogy that we know and love, or at least the kind of trilogy that we came to expect with the original trilogy, episodes 4, 5, and 6, that we kind of didn't get with the prequels. Because the prequels, Attack of the Clones, the middle section, there wasn't much of a cliffhanger, if you will. It wasn't very much darker. Revenge of the Sith was darker, obviously. But I don't know. So, again, guys, I want to hear from you what you think of Colin Trevorrow directing episode 9. Dalton Johnson says, just called. Hopefully I don't sound too stupid. I left a message. Oh, okay. So, Dalton, there are no stupid questions here in Meet the Movie Press land. So we do have some people calling in. It's 424-253-0504. You can just give me a thumbs up if anybody's out there. I guess people are leaving messages. That's what they're saying on the chat board. You got this, Dalton, says Gregory Castillo. I love that. So, guys, I got Aaron saying I thought Jurassic World was all right. Kids were good. Effects were good. Pratt did okay. But in the end, I thought it was just okay. Hey, I get it. And that's the thing. I get it. When people kind of come down on Jurassic World, it wasn't Jurassic Park. It wasn't Spielberg. We get it. But Spielberg was he was very involved in the development of this. And yeah, okay. So Wendy Vega says, hey, Mark, the calls aren't going through. It's going to a message. So in the booth, are you hearing me when I say yeah? Okay. So, guys, we're working on that right now. The calls are going to be going through, I'm sure. So hang tight. I'm glad you guys are calling in. Sam Lawrence says, can't call from England. Oh, man, I'm sorry. I know. But is Sam Lawrence, why don't you drop in your thoughts here on what you think of Colin Trevorrow? Okay, I am worried. That's what I see there. Okay, so if people are worried about this, then I understand and I want to hear from you. So we do have somebody on the line, and this is going to be awesome because people are calling in for Meet the Movie Press, and we're going to talk about this. So you're on Meet the Movie Press. Who do we got?
Hey, Yodi, this is Ryan from Virginia.
Hey, Ryan from Virginia. How are you, dude?
I'm doing great. I love this San Diego Comic-Con coverage you're giving us today.
Oh, good. I know, man. We got to get to, there's a lot, there's going to be so much coming out, like later today in the evening, and then tomorrow morning is going to be some big stuff. So what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm going to stick with what you're talking about with Colin Trevorrow.
Great.
For episode 9.
Yeah.
I think it's a good idea. I like it. A lot of people are hating on Jurassic World, unfortunately, but I think with the brain trust that they have at Disney, with the Lucasfilm Story Group, that it's in safe hands going forward.
You know what? I agree with that, absolutely. And I think that what Trevorrow did with Jurassic World, I'm with you, Ryan. I love, and thanks for calling in, dude. I really appreciate it. I loved Jurassic World. I really did. I had so much fun in the theater. And that's what my only beef with people, I think they just kept going into this kind of this like critical, analyzing it and saying it's not this, it's not that. And I just wish that it hit them the way it hit me. I just had a freaking great time. And so to now take Trevorrow, put him into the Star Wars universe with episode 9, he's going to be working closely with J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is probably going to stick around as a producer or executive producer through the run of the trilogy. I think he, obviously Kathleen Kennedy, Disney, we don't know who's going to write episode 9. It was rumored at first when the news broke for Rian Johnson, they said originally he was writing episode 8 and 9. So I'm wondering if that's still going to happen, because then if Rian Johnson is directing and writing episode 8, awesome. And then what if he writes episode 9 and Trevorrow comes in and does a little pass on it like he did with Jurassic World? Because Colin Trevorrow and his writing partner kind of took over for a couple of writers, and it's too early in the morning for me to remember all these names, but it makes it exciting to think about that episode 8 written by Rian Johnson and possibly episode 9. Then we get Trevorrow coming in and directing episode 9. Now we got some interesting things here to discuss. So let's take another call. Hey, you are on Meet the Movie Press. Who do we got?
Hey, it's Haroon.
Hey, dude. Say your name again.
Haroon.
Haroon.
Haroon Taylor.
All right, man. So where are you from?
California, Sacramento.
Nice. California. Yeah. Representing here. So what do you want to talk about? Are you wanting to talk about Colin Trevorrow possibly directing episode 9?
Yeah. No, like you, I thought Jurassic World was awesome. That's one of my favorite movies of the year, actually.
Nice. Nice. I'm so glad to get some people that loved it as much as me. So that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good choice. I mean, he could bring that fun flavor, to the movie, like he did with Jurassic World. I mean, I don't know. I don't see why people are so worried about it. I just thought Jurassic World was a fun movie. I mean, it wasn't the best written movie ever,
sure.
But I mean, it was fun. It was just chaos, dinosaurs find each other. I mean, it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah, I always tell my friends, I'm like, look, this movie was targeted for me. Dinosaurs eating people. I'll watch it. And I'll like it. It's like Jaws for me. Sharks eating people, yeah. Love Jaws 2. Jaws 3, sure. Not Jaws of Revenge, though. But, yeah, man, I'm with you. I loved Jurassic World a lot. And I think because of what he did with Jurassic World, and what do you think, man? Let me ask you this. So there's the rumor out there is that Rian Johnson might also write episode 9. So do you think that enhances the idea of Trevorrow directing episode 9?
Definitely. Yeah, I think pairing those two together, you get Colin Trevorrow's, he's got that cool style,
right.
he could bring the visual flavor to it, and then Rian Johnson, we know he's a good writer, so I think that's a good pairing.
Yeah, man. I think that's what we might be getting. I think if Rian Johnson does a pass of episode 9, I think Trevorrow, because he did a pass on Jurassic World, would most likely want to get his hands on that because he would direct it. So it's interesting to think about. Thanks for the call, man. You take it easy.
Yeah. Oh, wait, can I ask one question?
Oh, yeah. Go for it, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, do you think like, I mean, there were some rumors about Rogue One this past week. Do you think we'll get some news at the panel about that?
I think so. Yeah, I think we will. What's interesting, you brought up a great point, and again, thanks for the call, dude. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. What's
interesting about the young Han Solo, and I think we can do a nice segue into the young Han Solo movie that was announced with Lord and Miller, is that the Hollywood Reporter broke that news that a young Han Solo movie was going to be, I believe, written and directed by Lord and Miller of Lego Movie and 21-22 Jump Street. That was scooped. That was the Hollywood Reporter. And what happened was, this was like maybe on Monday or Tuesday, that news broke, and Disney and Lucasfilm then all of a sudden went, yep, here we are, yep, here it is. And they announced it on StarWars.com. I think Hollywood Reporter, i.e. Boris Kitt over there at Hollywood Reporter, broke that, scooped it. I think they were going to announce that at the panel at Comic-Con. I think they were going to announce Colin Trevorrow. So I think with Rogue One, Birth Movie's death, Devin Faraci over there dropped a scoop that Darth Vader is going to make an appearance in Rogue One, which makes sense. That totally makes sense. So yeah, I think we're all just getting a lot of scoops going. So to answer your question in the longest way possible, I think they're going to maybe announce some more cast members for Rogue One, maybe show some more footage, maybe some previs stuff like they did with the Star Wars Celebration. They showed the TIE fighter going towards the Death Star. Maybe they'll do another thing with Rogue One. Maybe they'll have something similar for young Han Solo movie, but I doubt it. That movie's not even written yet, I think. So, but I do think we're going to get some more news for the anthologies for Rogue One, especially probably for young Han Solo movie. Maybe they might have a casting announcement, but I don't think so. I think it's too early in the game. And maybe we will finally get the movie that Josh Trank was going to direct. Now, they said that this young Han Solo movie wasn't the movie that Josh Trank was going to do, but I don't know. I don't know if I believe that. Really, I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I read somewhere that it actually was, and that I don't know, someone got the report wrong or something.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I don't know.
I just don't know how Josh Trank could get off the movie, and then they're not announcing anything, and then the next anthology movie to come out is Lord and Miller's Young Han Solo. That was always rumored, and then I've also heard rumors, and we ran a scoop on schmozno.com that Boba Fett is sharing the movie with young Han Solo. Maybe we'll get that confirmation that Lord and Miller are actually doing Han Solo and Boba Fett. So it'll be interesting to see what happens tonight at 5:30 PST Comic-Con. So check out schmozno.com because we're going to be covering it live. Actually, as I have Bothan Spies in Comic-Con Hall H, so I will get the news and post it right up. So again, dude, thanks for the call. And we will move on with some news. That's our Star Wars section because we're already 24 minutes in, and I love it that you guys are calling in and everybody's watching. So I want to move over to what you guys want to hear out of Comic-Con. Are you guys following along with the news? There hasn't been a lot yet. I mean, like I said, all the news that's breaking right now that's just causing me and my geekiness to just go freaking nuts is coming from actual trades. Deadline with... last night, they broke Batman and Ben Affleck directing, which we'll talk about now. But, and like I said, Hollywood Reporter dropping the Star Wars scoop, and now Heroic Hollywood dropping Colin Trevorrow in Episode 9. But, guys, what do you think about Ben Affleck directing Batman, co-writing with Jeff Johns, directing a standalone Batman movie? Now, again, this was Deadline that broke this. Again, I think that the big panels they wanted to announce this, and I think what's happening is there's so many people out there at Comic-Con that things are getting out there. Comic-Con gets bigger and bigger every year, so this is amazing. But I want to take another call. So do we have anyone on the line? Oh, they just dropped. Okay, so guys, we are talking about Comic-Con, Star Wars, DC. Those are the big major, I would say, panels are going to be happening, as well as Fox, because I think Fox is going to show some Deadpool, some X-Men Apocalypse. So I'm interested to see what comes out of the the panels, and I want to hear from you. So we got a caller on the line, and hey, how you doing? We're on Meet the Movie Press. Who do we got? And we dropped. Sorry, guys. It happens. I did see a comment fly by about Obi-Wan Kenobi, an anthology movie. I agree with you there. I'm just going to kind of backtrack a bit about the Star Wars conversation because I did forget about Obi-Wan Kenobi. There is rumors about an Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy of movies. In fact, one of my sources kind of said they heard some rumblings about it. So I should say one of my writers' sources heard some rumblings about it. I don't think it's totally locked in yet. I think there's some conversations about it. I think there's some interesting story elements. We have Ewan McGregor, who everybody loved in the prequels, probably the only one they loved in the prequels. Maybe he is going to have a trilogy of movies. We can wait and see. Wouldn't that be awesome if they announced it today? But let's move on. We got someone on the line. Hey, you're on Meet the Movie Press. Who do we got?
This is Dalton.
Dalton. Wait, Dalton,
Yes,
off
sir.
the YouTube chat. What's up, my man? How are you today?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Riley?
Oh, I'm doing well, man. Thanks. So,
Hey, I'd got to tell you, nice job on hosting the main show last night. That was cool.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, that was fun. Except getting my ass handed to me by the women.
That wasn't too good.
They killed me in trivia, but Josh McCouga rigged it. I'm sorry. I'm kidding, though. So, Dalton, what do you want to talk about, man?
I love getting that kind of, I guess it's basically confirmed of Affleck going to direct the Batman movie. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think what's even cooler, though, is Jeff Johns being a part of it to write it. I mean, who better to kind of shepherd that story than the DC creative officer?
Yeah. That's my big get from this as well, is that Jeff Johns is going to co-write this. Now, Jeff Johns, for Dalton, you hit it right on the head. He's the chief creative officer of DC Comics. I think that's his title, and he also writes comic books. I mean, he's done a run on Aquaman. He's done a run on Batman. He's done a run on Superman. So this guy knows the stuff. That's why DC hired the guy, because he's kind of running the whole thing. So for him to come in with Affleck, that's amazing. And Dalton, did you hear in the scoop that Deadline did? They said that Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck clicked so well on writing the script for Batman, a Batman standalone, that they expect to get a draft within the next few weeks. What do you think of that?
And that got me even more excited. Is that, obviously, like you said, they hit it off.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that I've read that Affleck is a huge Batman fan. So, I mean, they're coming at it from two really, really great perspectives. So I couldn't be more thrilled. I mean, Jeff Johns' run on Batman Earth 1 is like one of the best reads you can find out there of a Batman story.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Anybody that doubts this just needs to go and check that one out, because he's a really, really talented writer.
Yeah, he is. And comic book writing, I think, is like inherent in screenplay writing, because you're essentially writing a screenplay of visuals and telling a story with pictures, which is what comic books are. I mean, dynamic portraits and images used, molded together, turn the page kind of stuff. So to have Jeff Johns with Ben Affleck, I mean, it gets me so excited, because I said it last night on the main show. Ben Affleck, when he, a lot of people kind of, some naysayers, I will say, were like, dude, how are they going to do that? Because he is Batman, he's writing it, and then he's going to direct it? That's a tall order. Yeah, but if anybody could handle it, it's Ben Affleck. That's my opinion. Look at The Town. I just want to point people to The Town, because it's one of the most underrated movies out there. I thought it needed to be nominated for Best Picture when it came out, and only Jeremy Renner got nominated, which rightly so. He was phenomenal in The Town, but so was Ben Affleck. Acting, writing, and directing. He did it. He hit it. He stuck the landing. And now to think about him doing Batman and Jeff Johns, and then you hear behind-the-scenes stuff in the Deadline report that Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck hit it off and wrote a script, and it's coming in soon. That means we're going to get a Batman movie sooner rather than later. And I think, again, that they were going to announce it, tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. They were going to announce it at Comic-Con. So I think Deadline scooped him. So it's some pretty good news coming out of there. So you guys are on the live chat over here. And Dalton, thanks for the call. I don't know if you're still on, but thanks so much for calling in.
Man.
And thanks for being a good fan, man. I appreciate it. I love talking to you on the internet machine.
Yes, thanks, man. You will enjoy the rest of this news coming out.
All right, will do. So, all right, guys, we are on Meet the Movie Press on the Popcorn Talk Network. We are taking some calls about news, and Ben Affleck directing and writing a standalone Batman movie is probably some of the biggest news. I now want to go to a topic that's very interesting that maybe they were going to announce it at Comic-Con again. Actually, no, I take that back. Marvel is not doing a movie presentation. They're doing TV. They're doing Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., maybe we'll get some announcements for like Netflix, some Daredevil, maybe some Iron Fist, maybe some Defenders, maybe some footage from AKA Jessica Jones. So I think that is probably going to happen. You're going to see some footage for AKA Jessica Jones. But what's not going to happen is any announcements for the movies, because they kind of already did it last year where they did this big fan event announcing Black Panther, Civil War, all these different things. So now what's interesting is that we have Marissa Tomei as Aunt May in Spider-Man. And across the board, people are like, I don't want to be attracted to Aunt May, because everybody has the visual in front of them of a comic book of a withered old lady with gray hair. And now you put that next to Marissa Tomei, who is rocking 50 and is still just gorgeous. So everybody's like, I don't want to be attracted to Aunt May. But this is why I want to take the sexiness out of it. I just want to focus on the acting. I think it's great casting. I absolutely love the casting. Yeah, she's 50. Yeah, she's attractive. It just works for me. I think they're going into this new direction that is so fascinating with me. They cast Tom Holland as Peter Parker Spider-Man, and he is 19 years old, but he's going to be playing a high school student. So we now have his Aunt May taking care of him. We don't know if Uncle Ben is already deceased in this version of the Marvel Universe. I think if we can go off of Kevin Feige's comments a while ago, he kind of alluded to the fact that Spider-Man is out there already, kind of established while the Avengers is happening. Maybe like kind of fresh, new, like he's not completely established, but there have been sightings from people. Hey, there's a guy in spandex. They call him Spider-Man. He's out there. But oh my God, now Thor and the Alien Avengers and Alien Invasion, I should say, happens. It's an interesting take for me, and I want to hear you guys. Your guys' take on this. So give us a call at 424-253-0504. And I want to hear your thoughts on Aunt May. So I'm going to go to the comments. Malcolm the Great. That is a great handle. Malcolm the Great says, I'm completely fine with Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. If she's going to be on screen getting older like Tom Holland, it works perfectly. Yep. Well said. Well said. I totally agree with you. She is going to be getting older through this next trilogy of movies, obviously with new movies coming in. So I think it works. Yeah, I just love the casting, and it does bring some edge to it. It brings something very fresh, very new that we haven't seen, and I think that's what Marvel is doing. So let's get some calls in. I got someone on the line. Hey, you're on Meet the Movie Press. Who do we got?
Hi, this is Sam.
Sam, how you doing, man? Where are you calling from?
I'm from England.
Hey, all right.
It took me ages to get through, but
yeah, you did it, man. Hey, thanks for calling in from England. It's one of my favorite countries. London. I wish I was in London right now. Whereabouts England are you?
Oxfordshire. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I don't think I have. Okay.
Yeah, but I was staying up at half one to monitor all the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right. Oh, you're getting. Yeah, you can sneak on some sets out there. They really like to film Star Wars in London. Sorry, not London, England. So
yeah.
So what would you like to talk about? Some Star Wars stuff, some Marvel, DC. Floor is yours.
Oh wait a second, the line's going a bit crazy.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, wait, I just want.
Yeah, go for it. I can hear you, man. Oh. Yeah, we dropped. Oh, I'm sorry, man. We had England calling in, and we lost them. So, guys, okay, Veronica W. on the chat board says Matthew McConaughey for Uncle Ben. That's interesting. I'll tell you why that's interesting, because there was a report that people were approaching Matthew McConaughey, but the report was for villain. No, was it a villain? I don't know. Maybe they reported that, nonetheless, they're reporting that Matthew McConaughey was being approached for some roles in either Marvel or DC, and then he fueled the fire a little bit more by confirming that. Now, I think that Matthew McConaughey actually is probably fielding offers, and Uncle Ben to me is a very interesting choice. If you go off of Marissa Tomei, yep, God, that makes sense. Can you see those two together? Can you see Matthew McConaughey actually imparting some wisdom on a young boy and then losing his life as he does in the comics? That's not a spoiler, folks. I think everybody knows Uncle Ben bites it because that's why Spider-Man becomes Spider-Man. You know, he takes Uncle Ben's worthy advice of, with great power comes great responsibility. Can you picture Matthew McConaughey saying that? I can, actually. So that's actually a great call. So very cool. Thank you for that. But you guys, in talking about this new Spider-Man movie, you know, everybody was a little worried about it's the third reboot in 8 years or whatever we've got. And, you know, it's interesting. Now, for me, I am so excited because Aunt May, Marissa Tomei is Aunt May. So it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. It's totally different. It's totally different, guys. I want you to look at it that way. Because I get that she's hot, or maybe you think she's hot, or you don't want to be attracted to your aunt. But you know, get the picture of Aunt May in the comics out of your mind and think about it as a fresh new way to introduce a character into the Marvel universe. And I think it's fantastic. So I'm all for it. And you know what? I'm looking at a lot of you on the live chat. You're all for it. Brian Cranston for Uncle Ben says JMF 451. Brian Cranston for Uncle Ben would be awesome. Yep. And if you guys had seen Godzilla, you know that he can actually do some fine acting and then be taken out of the movie right at the beginning. So there you go. Wendy Vega, yeah, coming in again, says Brian Cranston would be amazing. So guys, if you guys are out there, want to chat on the phone, again, maybe we can take one more call before we wrap it up here, because that's some of the biggest news that came out. I think, you know, the Marissa Tomei news. I think, you know, the Chris Miller and the Phil Lord, and obviously Ben Affleck. One more, I think, newsworthy announcement is that stuck with me over the week, and that's Ava Duvernay, you know, who directed Selma, passing on Black Panther. Now, she was rumored for going in, obviously, with Black Panther. That was a big kind of scoop. I can't remember where it was dropped. But she was also maybe rumored to be meeting with Captain Marvel, or maybe both, or one or the other. But she did confirm it was Black Panther and confirm that she is passing. So it bummed me out a bit, but I have a lot of respect for Ava DuVernay. I think that maybe it just the blockbuster game is not for her. And that's very, very cool to you know, it's interesting too. It's very cool that probably Ava DuVernay has a lot of offers in. And with these blockbusters that come out, as you saw with Jurassic World and Trevorrow, you know, coming off of Safety Not Guaranteed, getting the $1 billion Jurassic World, that is the template for what these studios are going for. Because look at Colin Trevorrow. This is the exact template. And this is color and race and gender aside. I'm serious when I say this, because it can happen with a female director. I absolutely believe this, and I think that the studios are aware of that, and I think they're going for it. And I think the conversation is changing, and the fact that Ava DuVernay passed on a blockbuster is an amazing thing to happen in Hollywood and for women directors. She literally went, nope, I'm good. Now, this is a new thing because women directors, I don't care what color they are not getting they're not getting those offers. They just aren't. So you finally get this, an offer is made to a female director of color, of African American race, and she says, nope, I got this. I'm doing what I want to do. So I have mad respect for Ava DuVernay, and I'm a little bummed that she passed. I would have loved to see her take on Black Panther. But again, to get back to, I think the bigger picture here is that Colin Trevorrow is the template for these. Look, you can go back. I can, like, off the top of my head, Mark Webb directs 500 Days of Summer, and he gets the Spider-Man reboot by Sony. Okay, Colin Trevorrow directs Safety Not Guaranteed. He gets Jurassic World, and he knocks it out of the park, and it's a billion-dollar franchise again, and we're going to get a sequel very soon, I'm sure. But it really goes to what they're doing, you know. And I would say Marvel is aware of that template because they started with kind of established directors and Jon Favreau with Iron Man. I would say I'm mixing up Joe Johnston for Captain America and Kenneth Branagh for Thor. They kind of set it off. And then we pull in some directors that are very interesting, like Alan Taylor for Thor: The Dark World. The Russo brothers for Captain America. Now, they weren't in the independent world per se, but they were on television. It was a very interesting choice there. But what I like about the Ava Duvernay kind of template that happened of them going after her is that Selma comes out. It's nominated for Academy Award, Best Picture. It's an amazing movie. Guys, I would recommend you go out and see it. And they offer her that. So we're seeing this. And now... And the name, guys, on the chat board, help me out, please. On the chat board, the director of the new Spider-Man movie. It's my brain's a little foggy this morning because I get up early. But that's another one. An independent director going to direct a franchise. I think they want that. They want a fresh take. They want people that can collaborate with the higher ups because, look, it is a business. These are billion-dollar franchises. So you are going to get notes. I don't care who you are. Unless you're Spielberg, you are not going to get like this, yeah, do what you want, man. You are going to get notes. And these studio heads and these executive producers like Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, they're going to want to know that their voice can be heard because they're going to go, hey, listen, we got to do this. And the director's going to go either great or they're going to go nope. And maybe that's what happened with Josh Trank on the Fantastic Four set. Maybe he wasn't great to talk to. That's some of the rumors. I personally don't know. I hate rumors. I hate the game of telephone. I trust Josh Trank. I just do. Chronicle's an amazing movie. And Fantastic Four, in my mind and opinion, looks great. But the theme I'm talking about here is that these independent directors are coming in. They are getting these billion-dollar franchises, and Jurassic World is the perfect example of this. This is the template that studios are going to follow now. Independent director, hit it out of the park, billion-dollar franchise. Who can we get next? I just think that that's what's going to happen. But Star Wars is kind of doing it now. I mean, look, Colin Trevorrow now he's an A-list director. He is. He just became A-list when Jurassic World opened to $200 million at the box office domestic. So, guys, we are on the live chat. And what do you guys say? John Watts, thank you, my God. John Watts for Spider-Man. Appreciate that. And the feed went crazy. Oh, geez. So, Malcolm the Great, amen, Calum. I'm just now reading. I wish Johns could pioneer the DCCU. Yeah, I think so. Calum, that's a good comment. I wish Jeff Johns could pioneer the DCCU. I think he kind of maybe is. I think Sneider is definitely, Zack Sneider, the director, is kind of the guy. We don't have a face for DC. I guess it's Sneider. Because Marvel has Kevin Feige. Nobody's bigger than Kevin Feige in this game. I would maybe say the close second is Robert Downey Jr., honestly. I think he's the spokesmodel for Marvel and the expanded universe. But DC doesn't really have that. DC has this interesting kind of corporate feel where there's suits that are announcing these movies to stockholders. That's what's interesting about DC. Their big slate came out to a stockholders meeting. So that's hard for the fans to get behind because I think what Kevin Feige is doing so well is that he's wearing a cap. He's wearing a baseball cap like I am. He's coming out on the stage. He's on Twitter. He's going with the fans going, nope, you're going to love this. And he has his handprints all over it. So DC's a little different. So what you just brought up there, I love that, is Jeff Johns being that person. And I think if DC wants to be successful at this, everything right now is riding on Batman v Superman. I mean, it really is. If Batman v Superman comes out and takes a giant dump on the box office, I'm sorry to put it that way, we're in trouble, guys. DC will be in trouble. Do I think that they'll be buried? No. The Suicide Squad will still come out, and if that does well, then we're talking. But I just don't see it going that way. I think that there will be people. I think the hype for Batman v Superman, it is so extremely huge right now that there are going to be disappointed people. I think that's just going to come with it. That there is going to be some backlash, inevitable backlash when it comes to Batman v Superman, because I think that the hype is so great. However, if it lands like Avengers did, then I see that happening too. I mean, I really see that happening as well, is that it could come out because, look, Avengers was coming out and it was hyped. Look, it was the first time that it was a shared universe coming together and all these A-list actors and A-list superheroes coming together. Avengers, if that took a big dump at the box office, we might have a very different MCU. So it's interesting. I don't know if we have any callers out there or no one calling in. That's okay, because I think we did a nice solid 45 minutes of Meet the Movie Press. Big news out there, guys. So I want you to go ahead, visit schmoesknow.com, where you can see me write. You can see all my talented writers out there dropping news stories every day. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. This is Meet the Movie Press. We do this every Friday. Go ahead, like the video that you're watching now. I love seeing 107 people watching right now. That's big for Meet the Movie Press. I appreciate that, especially for 9 a.m. You know, it's early for me. So I want you guys, I want to thank you for tuning in and for calling. That was awesome. You can follow me at Reilly Around on Twitter. I'll do one more question mark. Do you think BVS will surpass the $1 billion mark? I think it will if it's good. Okay? I think like Jurassic World did. Sure, there were some naysayers out there, but I think it was just a fun movie-going experience, and they kept coming back because they loved the movie-going experience. If Batman v Superman does that, yes, it's going to pass $1 billion. Absolutely. But it's got to hit that right balance. It's got to hit what like Jurassic World did, what the Avengers did, what even Fast and Furious 7 did. It's got to hit that wonderful balance. So, but yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning in. So I am Mark Reilly, editor-in-chief of schmoesknow.com, and this is Meet the Movie Press. Please rate, subscribe, like it, share it with your friends. And next week, I'm working on a guest, but Jeff Sneider will be back. We'll probably do a breakdown of Comic-Con, all the big news that's coming at you starting today through the weekend. Check out schmoesknow.com for all that news. We will be covering it. So, guys, thanks again. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.